So, it's a time for a package from China, and it's huge, baby. Yeah. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in. So in this video, it's time to check out a new Pandora's box. Yep, it's time to enter the Pandora jungle. And the reason why the Pandora jungle, for the people who didn't know, there are a lot of these devices out there, man. Like a lot of them. Single player, portable versions. But when it comes to the main boards, there it's going to get really interesting and also really messing. What are we going to get? That's what I'm going to find out today. Is this thing worth your money? And is it even worth picking up? And how actually top brand component and chipset. Green low power design. A lot of great words. But in the end, how will it perform? So first up, let's open it up. I just want to do a quick overview of what's inside, but also what are we going to get with the casing. Because even if there are two-player versions, there are a lot of different versions out there when it comes to the quality of the case. Okay, so let's take a close look. We're going to get a VGA cable, HDMI, and USB, because we can use this device like an actual arcade stick. Strange. Why do I get this with it? Okay, we'll find out later. And then we're going to get a European cord. Depends where you're buying, of course. If you're from a different region, you're going to get a different cable. Then we're going to get the power supply, that's our 12 volt 3 amp. And not to forget, the special, the RRTV Deluxe toilet paper manual with glossy paper. It explains a little bit more like what you're going to get with the menu, what you can do, stuff like that. But let's see how is the stick looking, because I'm curious about that. Alright, so today we're going to get ourselves a King of Fighter stick, where they are using the decals on it. There are a lot of different versions out there, and even did a Mortal Kombat version. It was a very nice looking stick, but also sometimes you need to assemble the ball tops yourself. But it seems to be like this device is plug and play. It's only the 6-button version. It's basically like the simple version, because we're having like deluxe edition that has a lot of extra features, but this one doesn't have that. We're also going to get a couple of spare buttons. And these buttons are long travel. They're not bad, very clickish. I personally prefer more like the Senwa editions. This is something more like a personal thing. So when you're looking at the quality stick and the way they made it, this is what I love to call the slim stick. And the reason why is because this stick is quite slim. And the quality, I'm very satisfied about it already. Because it got a metal body. Because some of these devices coming with this plastic, fantastic, cheap, horrible feel of a shell. And this time, it's very nice. The decal they are using is just like a very thick sticker, and if you're going to get some issues with it, you can always replace them if they are selling them loose. But take consideration, parts like these are very hard to find. Okay, so when it comes to the joystick and the buttons, it's always the question what you're going to get. Sometimes they're selling like the expensive Senwa edition. I personally prefer to buy these. They're like a couple of dollars more, but you're going to get a better joystick. You can compare this like an okay quality, like a very long travel. It also isn't a very long stick, and of course it has the ball top. The button already shown you like I like the basic quality, long travel, and the same goes for these. But this one, like the small editions, don't have the click, just a long travel. Okay, so the 6-button layout is for most arcade games more than enough, and also for 8-bit, 16-bit. But I personally prefer to have the 8-button, and the reason why, if you like modern games, you just need to have more buttons. And if you want to connect this thing to your PC and use it like just a stick itself, yeah, an 8-button is in my opinion a must-have. So with this version we're going to get 2 buttons, one for the coin and other one for the start for player 1. Over here we're going to get start for player 2, and here we're going to get the pause button. This is what we're going to need if you want to just go back to the main menu, and some of these Pandora's boxes even have the option for a quick load and quick save menu. Alright, so let's open it up. There are only a couple of screws that you need to remove so you can flip over the case. So like the slim editions are a little bit difficult to open, simply because there are sometimes more screws and there is no hatch that opens this up, so you just need to wiggle around and just lift the top cover up. I just wanted to show you how you need to open it up. It's just by lifting up the top cover. Normally we're going to get like a special hatch over here, so we can just flip it open, put a screwdriver in it like this, and you can just leave it open. It's super easy for maintenance. So over here we're going to get the cable 3, which you can see over here goes to the button and joystick. It's a super easy construction, and what I like about it, so if you want to upgrade it with a different Pandora box, I think it will not be a big issue. Okay, so when you're looking at the buttons and the joysticks, you can replace this one with just a semi joystick. You just need to remove the cable over here, then you remove the 4 nuts and you can just pop it out. Super easy, easy peasy. The buttons, the same story, just basically you press the side things and it just pop them out, and that it. Okay, so the main board, here's where we're going to get really interesting, and this is not in a good way. So first of all, it comes with a very tiny, little bitty speaker, and they are like the cheapest of cheap you can get. Then we're going to get the Pandora's box. This Pandora's box, I've reviewed them in different names, because this is more like a weird Android box they converted into a Pandora's box. We'll open it up for you guys so you know what I mean with this. Okay, so let's go to the back. I wanted to show you this. So first of all, it's a very weird configuration when it comes to all the connections. For the people familiar to my channel know what I mean. So first of all, the on and off switch you can see here, they are not using it anymore. The Ethernet connection, that is an option we're having now. Spiff out, audio AV out, HDMI. We're going to get here a 12-volt input. The on and off switch is over here now. Volume control, settings, and 2 USB ports. And that's the reason why we're going to get this conversion for VGA from HDMI, or pass it from HDMI to VGA. That's the reason why they give you this, because there is no VGA connection. And with the normal Pandora box, we do have this. I think it's not a big of a deal, but if you want to replace your main board in the future, I think the most important thing is that you're going to get yourself a casing that you like and that you can upgrade eventually. Because if you can't upgrade it, it's pretty pointless. So there was already something wrong because this screw doesn't tighten up or getting loose. So that's not a good thing. Something is messed up. Normally that you need to do is remove the 4 screws and we can lift it up. But something is wrong, so let's double check the bottom part. Okay, I got it out. Like the first screw I wanted to loosen up is that the problem is that it was not even getting any grip in the nut itself. So that's what we're going to call a poor construction. Alright, there's the ADS Wi-Fi RR TV 64 gig and it's got 8,000, I think they're like meaning 8,000 games. So let's open up this bad boy. Let's remove these screws over here and let's see what we're going to get in the inside, because I would not be surprised that they're going to reuse a lot of these old Android boxes for Pandora's boxes. And to be honest, I'm not bad. I'm not happy about it. So let's click it open and let's take a close look at this. So like I already mentioned, is that there are some weird things going on in the Pandora jungle. Go there. First of all, they are using like these old school weird Android boxes. That explains why we're going to need the conversion for VGA, but also having a lot of different options now, like the spiff out. And don't get me wrong, it's highly possible that it doesn't even work. But when it comes to the configuration, they are all the same. I reviewed like the Saga version, but in the end they are all using the same configuration and also the specifications. And I'm not talking about the 64 gigabyte SanDisk or the 128 gigabyte SanDisk. No, I'm talking about the configuration of this. But let's talk about the specifications, what you're actually going to get. So when you take a close look at the specification, it is not that special. It's more of the same if you ask me. So the Pandora's box is the ADS RRTV model. They also call it the Pro. It comes with a 6001, that's basically like a 64 gigabyte SanDisk SD. Chipset AIM Logic S812 with 2 GHz quad core. CPU is not really special and it's more of the same when it comes to previous models. And the GPU is a Mali 450 in combination with 1 GB of RAM. And in my opinion, we need some more juice if we want to have better performance. But construction wise, it's not super bad. First of all, they're going to give this Pandora's box better cooling. Not because of this tiny element that they've used on it, but they are transferring the heat to this metal plate. And that is a very good way to go. Normally, like with normal Pandora's boxes, you're not going to get any cooling elements whatsoever, or this tiny one that cannot even releases heat. So let's put together this bloody thing and just see what we're going to get when it comes to the performance, because there I'm going to be very curious about. The most important thing is with this Pandora's box, if you're going to get a casing like that and you don't like the main board or you just want to have something else, like there is a big gaping hole at the back. And the reason I like this is that you can just basically put every single motherboard in. There is no restriction if you're having like encasing like this. So I think that is a very positive thing. A little bit of bummer about the speaker. I will show you what I mean with this. But let's put it back together and let's have some fun. Okay, so the system has been booted up. And let's do a quick chat about it, what you're going to get and what can you expect from this piece of software when it comes to the layout and of course the games, what is this compatible with, etc, etc, etc. You're going to switch between the game, you're going to get a small preview over there. All the way up, this is the all list, so all the games are basically in this list slapped together. We give a categorized system. This device has some support for PSP, Sega Dreamcast, PlayStation 1 and 64, NES, Super NES, Game Boy Classic, Color and Game Advance. They still didn't fix the Mega Drive with the Xbox 360 logo. Sometimes they fix it, sometimes they don't, it's kind of weird. We're having here the PC Engine. So we're having a lot of different systems that can run on it and also the MAME stuff. So I'm very curious how are the performance of the board. I think I already know, for the people who didn't know, I don't know, let's try some games. Pandora box I boot up, it still got this same issue. Oh, Cyberwolf! And it will run like shit. Let the frame drops begin. I must say this time it is not that bad. But still, it glitches from the select screen.
Get ready, fire!
I have seen some shitty emulation, but this is not that bad in my opinion. Stay down. Next up. But you can see that we're going some weird stuff with the brightness. So when he came in more like going all brightness up and then it goes down. It's not like it should be. See, this is what I mean, man. Good speed, messy emulation.
Only the strongest will be chosen.
I will see the darkness of the abyss.
I'm not afraid anymore.
Battle 1. Fight! Bring out! Battle 2. Fight!
Alright, the final test for MAME. Raiden. But so far so good. Let's see how the joystick works. Oh, for a Sonic clone it's not bad. Absolutely, flawless victory. Okay, let's take a close look at the settings. The settings not really special when you're looking at all the Pandora's box I've reviewed. For the people who didn't know, we're having key settings, coin, exit mode. You can set it to, let's say, pressing start and coin, long press menu. We're having auto exit, so if you don't play the game, we said later, after 3 minutes it will be automatically go to the main menu. You can disable it if you want to. Select mode, image optimization, it was set to HD when I was playing, so MAME. And to be honest, I just like to put it on disabled. There is no aspect ratio. And in my opinion, there is not a lot of stuff that is new to this. So we're having here game settings, and it does basically the same stuff like removing games, adding games, but you can't add games because we need a program for that. That's called Pandora. So when it comes to the Pandora's box and the jungle behind it, it's always so fascinating how creative they are. I mean with this, like when you're looking at the pros and cons, and we're looking at other devices from the RRTV 80S lineup, you can see like there are a lot of differences. The casing, the way they are using in different Pandora's box. But when it comes to the performance, it's all the same. In this case, it's more like how much do you pay for it? And in the end, it's more like what kind of performance. Oh wait, the performance is mostly all the same. So it's more like purely the casing. So yeah, let me know what do you think of this, what do you think of the casing and the performance. I want to thank you for watching, consider subscribing, hit the little bell, become one of the Wicked family, and I will see you in the next video.